Shopping around for a CZ pistol holster. Can't find one, especially something customized where they come to the right spot. Dux Outdoor and Tech TV customized holsters. This is the production from Dux Outdoor and Tech TV customized holsters and magazine pouch. So if you're looking for holster, especially customized holsters, reach out. Dux TV, Dux Outdoor and Tech TV. Peace. Welcome back, everyone, to Dux Outdoor and Tech TV. Well, for today, I'm going to walk you through the process of building a Kydex holster for any firearm, actually. But particularly for this one, we'll build the holster for the CZ because this is pretty much a new to the collection. So I think I want to build a holster for this one primarily because if I go out hunting or anything like that, I think I might take this with me just for the experience of it. All right, so there's several reasons why I want to do this. Somebody might say, why you waste your time, just go up on Amazon, and grab a holster. Now, two reasons. The holsters that I see that are available are junk. It's just pretty much a fold the Kydex over and create just a holder then for your firearm. They have no distinct features and such. Furthermore, they're expensive. Not everyone want to come out and buy, necessarily 150 holster for your firearm. So for me, I'll walk you through the experience of, probably building your own holster if you feel like it, or at least knowing that they are customized holsters that, probably are available for your CZ. I've built other holsters for some of my other firearm, like this one here. Little 380 LCP, but this was in the early conception of my holster building experience. So they're featureless, they do the job, but for this holster I want to kind of put in a lot of the experience that I've learned since. You see this little cool little thing here, snap it over your firearm, help restrain it. Plus you can't snap if you have to pull it out. My invention, but all right. But anyways, so what we're going to do is walk you through the process of building a holster for this CZ. Now, I'm going to walk you through stages, different stages, right? So the first stage for me is to tape the firearm and use it as a mock-up. Now, other holster manufacturer will probably buy a replica, which is about half the price of the firearm itself. So in some cases, to build the mock-up to create the holster, so you have all of the features if it's snapping. But for me, what I do is I mock up my firearm and put on the features that I want, the distinctive features, and I'll show that to you as we walk through the build. So for the first part of the build, you'll need tape, the type of painter's tape. You'll need your knife. I think that's pretty much it for the first piece, and then you'll need to build like your mock-ups that you're going to use for your wrist, for mount the clip on your belt and such, and I'll show you how these come into play as we walk through the build. All right, so first thing is first, as you know, these grips are pretty new, so I don't want to damage them or anything. Not that it will get damaged from what I'm doing here, but I would prefer to use the grips that came with the firearm to go through the process of creating the holster, as opposed to actually using these ones here that are much higher quality grips. So if anything, I'll go through experience. Let these ones here go through that experience, right? So that's what we're going to do. So stick and stay as I walk through the build. I'm going to change the grip, and I'm going to come back and walk through some of the taping out of the firearm. All right. Let's see. All right. Now that we got the grips replaced from the custom ones to the stock ones, we're gonna take a piece of microfiber cloth and just gently wipe any excess oil from the firearm. You have to at least do this to get some adhesion. Now again, you tape the firearm for a few reasons. You tape the firearm because you want to protect it, and you also tape it to create space between the firearm itself and the holster. Now, you don't want the holster, your firearm dragging on the holster continuously, or it will just create road rash, as they call it. Now, look at this firearm. I have at least 5 years. These holster and firearm have been going together, and you don't see any rashes on it because the retention is in the right place, right? So with 3 layers that at least allow you to get good retention and provide a good clearance between the firearm and the holster. Because again, I really don't like to see my firearm scratch up. I'm telling you that. Anybody who know me will tell you. If one thing you want to get to irritate me is, scratch up firearm. Or limp wrist it and let it drop out of your hand or something like that. Irritating. Trust me, to say the least. So again, as I said, the taping of the firearm don't have to be real precise. Naturally, it don't even have to be pretty. But one thing though, you have to try to make sure you maintain the features and don't use a tape to bridge the features. You see that? You don't let the tape hang like that. I see you bridge the feature. You kind of allow the tape, you just let the tape hang like that, and you just work it into all the various little features. Now, sometimes you may have to gently, help the process by, sticking inside here like that. But again, remember, you don't want to do that too hard and damage your firearm. So that's how you maintain keeping the features while you're taping out the firearm. And you just keep doing this. So it's one side, right? See? So all the features, these little wrinkles is okay. The Kydex and heat will overcome that. But again, if you have any big bridge, like for here, so in order to get the features out here, which I think this is the cocker, again, you punch a small hole. And if you have to use your fingernail and break the tape, that's fine. Again, it's 3 layers. So that's 1 layer of tape. So repeat the process. For the other side. All right. See, so we're going to do the same thing again. And I'm going to pay more attention to what I'm doing here, and assuming that the video is doing its work and I don't have to pay attention to it because I assume that the angle is okay. So trying again to get my features in there. Now this side don't have that much fandangles in the way of mechanism, like the takedown lever and the decocking lever and such forth. So usually there's always one side of grace that you can at least rely on, that there's not a lot of feature that you have to blend the tape into. But the good thing is, as you get over the various layers, it becomes somewhat easier because now the tape start bonding to the tape itself and start becoming an easier process. All right, so you see that's laying on the first layer tape. So stick and stay, walk you through it when we get back around to starting to cut the Kydex and prepare it for the process. All right, welcome back. So we finally complete the taping of the firearm. Now, these shapes that you're looking at are actually mock-ups. So what you will need is a belt clip, holster belt clip from, you can get this on Amazon or knifekits.com. So what I did was create the mock-up, as I said, that you'll mount the belt clip on, see? So in addition, also took the liberty to also add some other features to it, because you know, kind of like the features where you make different features on the firearm, kind of look make the holster look cool. See, I put this also features. Again, what I did, I use any piece of wood that I have to shape these features, you know, fudge stick, pencils, whatever. But one thing you need though, you need to put a pencil at the top of the firearm. What this does is give a clearance for the sights when the pistol going in and out, and you'll see as the build go along how that come into play. Okay, so firearm completely taped out. So now is the time where we want to prepare a material to start the thermoset process. All right, so let's start that. So what you will need is a box cutter. You need any type of straight edge, just a piece of metal. I think you need a tape. Also, square. And I use some verniers just to kind of, nothing precision, but these are just to kind of at least keep me honest with how much material I might put on one side or the other. Now, these are additional belt clips. If I had decided that I was going to create the outside of the waistband holster, I'd have mounted the mount here, that you'll be able to mount the belt clip onto it from the outside. But I just want this to be a strictly inside the waistband holster. So we're going to run with just the one side. If we need to in the future, we'll make one outside the waistband holster. All right. So, so you need your knife, your measuring tape, and you also need your material. And you're going to need also a piece of cutting board. All right. So the first thing that you want to do, probably your dog crying in the background, or why am I crying, is to kind of line up the firearm. Now, don't be stingy on the material, right? Because you can't go back and add material once you do it. You can cut material, but you can't add it. So you want to kind of lay out a profile around the firearm like that. I think sometimes better if you just come in like this, you get a better profile. So basically, we're going to cut two 6x8 pieces of material. All right. So the profile of the firearm basically track out in a 6x8 piece. So because this is a 12-inch piece of material, I guess common sense to just cut in half, right? So what we're going to do here is to take a mark. This is what 12 1/8. You don't have to be precision, but you can get as close as possible if you can, right? Here we go. So in engineering, you measure once and cut twice. Measure twice, cut once. In some cases, you can add material, concrete and everything. You can add material in a construction, in a engineering, you sell them. Well, you can add back stuff, but kind of lose the integrity of what you're trying to fasten when you start by adding material, you know, through other processes like welding and such forth. So now we're going to use a knife. I could have used a straight edge as a guide, because it's not long enough. It's not necessary. So be careful not to cut yourself during this process. 6 by 6. All right, so you want to just fold the material like that. But if for the first go around the material don't fold, just score the material some more, and that's why you need a good cutting board. See? And it will just cut like that. And then you just come from this side. Now, this is a 60 thousandths of an inch. I know you could tell that you could use the vernier here. This is a more precision vernier than that one. So I could use the vernier here to tell that it's a, let me see, 68th of an inch, right? Now there are different sizes of Kydex. For inside the waistband, I prefer 0.06. For outside the waistband, I prefer 0.08 or 0.09 because it takes more abuse outside of the waistband and it's more rigid. So now that we have the two pieces of material, we're going to go ahead and cut the length of both pieces. So we did agree it was about 8 inches. So now I'll just go ahead. And by the way, I didn't let you know that you can purchase this material on Amazon or knifekit.com. Actually, when you purchase them on knifekit.com, you get some cool stuff. Well, not cool stuff, some stickers. And they send you a plaster, also a band-aid, just in case you cut yourself. Alright, so this is how you cut your both pieces of material. I see this is a carbon fiber type material, which is check out to a pretty cool holster. Alright, so now that we have this piece cut, we're going to use the other piece as a guide to make our second cut. Now these two pieces of material that's remaining, I'm going to use those pieces of material to make a magazine holster. Just dawned on me. I got to consult some of the material. Okay, cool. Alright, so this can make a magazine holder. So let's put that to the side. I remember I said we're going to have to do that. So alright, so this is how you cut the material. So what I am going to do now, never done this before, is to kind of trace out the firearm. What this does is give you a better contour once you start to heat the material. Now there's a risk to it because since the material bend in, it can become too small. So you know what? We're not going to do that. What I might do is reprocess it if you know it get too close and not close enough how I like it. So that's what I'm going to do. So basically, stay tuned for the next side of the build. We're actually going now and mold the carbon fiber material to the shape of the firearm and let you see that. So stick and stay. Welcome back to the CZ build, CZ holster build, and Dux Outdoor and Tech TV. Now, you'll start by going over the necessaries and some of the nuances of kind of going through this process. So first, you'll need a clamp. This is a scissors jack, a kind of created a contraption out of a create the press down on the Kydex between two thermo set foam. These allow the Kydex to take the form of whatever shape it is on. So once it's heated, by the way. So okay, so you need the scissor jack to apply the pressure. You need a heater gun, and you'll need one of these non-contact thermocouples. So let's just start the process so you see how this works. But first, I arrange it this way because I don't necessarily like to create two the upper and the lower panels at the same time. But for the holster, that's perfectly fine. I usually like to just do the holster first, just to kind of get my foot back in the water, because sometimes it's a while since I've done these. So let's just get started. So first, you have to try get the Kydex to 350 degrees at least. While you're heating the Kydex, it also makes sense to heat the magazine too. I leave some rounds in it just so it don't get deformed, but it doesn't. You don't heat it up enough where it become unsafe. But you have to heat up the magazine so at least it's kind of warm. So when it goes against the Kydex, at least you get good shape since it's kind of equilibrium in a temperature. So let's get started. So we're going to set the heat on high. Get the dust mask, put that on. And then start the process. When you use your non-contact thermocouple, check the temperature as you heat them, because you want to make sure you heat them evenly on all four corners. Again, as you go through, try to get some heat on the magazine, so you want to have an equilibrium in the temperature as much as you can. Alright, so stay tuned and we'll catch you when we're ready to pull it down. Alright, so very close to the required temperature, roughly about 200 and something. So now it's about a good time to start arranging the magazine between the sandwich the magazine between the Kydex evenly. Because again, it's winter here, so you have to be aware of that as soon as you take the heat off, the temperature drops. But the good thing is this here forms very well into whatever shape you want it. So once you get it up to 300 and some odd degrees, it basically flows like water. And you see that in the case. So you want to clip it one more time to add as much, not as much pressure as practical. So you're going to let it sit and form for about roughly 15 to 20 minutes, at which point we're going to remove the assembly, and then you can see what that looks like once the forming process takes hold. All right, so stay tuned. Okay, welcome back to the CZ Kydex holster build. You can see here I just completed forming the Kydex, and you can see I got some very good features in the material. And I worry about my dry hands, because again, can't work with lotion and I work with oil and such. So I saw it set up, form over function. Anyway, So I got some nice features into the material, as you could see here. This is your magazine, still secure between both panels. So the next step of the process now is to secure both panels using these here that we call eyelets. I have different types, to kind of set up and make a design depending on what it looks like as I go through the process. However, so I'm very impressed with the outcome, but I'm even more impressed with the outcome of the holster for the firearm, the two panels. This time I made the panels together as opposed to separate, and I feel this is the way to go, making the panels together. You get better adhesion, you get more pressure applied because each side. And again, I also realized that having about at least 1.5 inches overhang helps the process. So as you can see here, I have some nice features driven into the material. You can see here for the mounting of the belt clip to secure it to your person. So I'm very impressed overall with the outcome so far. So I'm going to continue now to do the same with here, to cut away the excess material and secure it with eyelets. And next time you see it will be a full-blown holster being pulled from the firearm, being pulled from the waist. So stay tuned for that. All right, peace. Welcome back to Dux Outdoor and Tech TV. Now we finally finished the customized build, holster build for the CZ P01 Omega. So I not only built a holster for the CZ, I also built a magazine holder. So we're going to go over the specifics of these holsters, okay? So first, you can see here the final thing I just did was to touch up the screws, just to take a look at tension on them. You want to make sure you snap it in, nice retention. I'm going to loosen it up over time, but one of the things you need to do is to apply some lubrication to the holster, so the moving parts and the firearm could be lubricated and you don't get any scratch earlier. And plus, it allows the holster, the firearm, to slip real nice in and out of the holster over time. And again, you don't have much holster wear on it, so you want to just do that, reduce the wear on the firearm over time, and also give you a nice, see, good retention, right? So if you look here, I kind of flared the entry point of the holster just to allow it for a clean and more easy access and entry. This time I used metal clips as opposed to plastic. No real reason, probably just what I have in the arsenal. And I also have a tensioner right here that I can use to tension the holster, so it fit as how I want or have the right retention. Here I also made sure that I had my philosophy with ejecting your magazine during a high stress situation. I also made sure that I had protection for my magazine release. Kind of have a nice little bevel here, as opposed to the traditional close over. I figure this time I just go ahead and leave it open. I kind of like it better when it left open, to be honest with you. You have the nice thing about here with your decocker is the decocker go back to its original position each time it's used, right? So see, so I don't have to worry about, unlike a safety where if you put in a safety on, safety off, you will move it from the original location of where the holster. So that's the real neat thing with this. So I could actually run the holster all the way to the top of the firearm and prevent the firearm from touching my skin, which is where you get a lot of rust with your firearm getting rusted with it being against your sweaty skin. So overall, I think this is the best holster I've built so far. My hands down not lying. I'm just going with that until somebody else tell me otherwise. You know, one of them other man they will make posters for something. So, boy, I looks me not believe you know, I don't think so my holster look better than that one. The I had a little material left to the Liberty and built also matching magazine holder. Again, made sure that I stuck to some fine finish just to make sure I get some nice finishing on the edges. This here you might see it slipping this easily. One of the tradition I always have a nut that I can always that I can use to adjust the tension. Plus, when when there is rounds in the magazine, it will also clip in. I have a retention down here for the rounds, so don't worry about that if it kind of loose. While it's empty, once it's loaded, it has a retention down here at the bottom that maintains that. So again, overall, really like the build. See, and one of the good thing is there's a scarcity of holster for these CZs, probably because of the intricacy of the introverted slide. That's why you don't have that much customized holster. The other holsters out there are productionized holsters. They just fold something over to cover it, like just slapping that piece of cloth. This here to me, that is built for me, built for the user, and built exactly what I like. I like riding high here, so again it don't touch my skin and get sweaty. Have a nice bevel there, easy entry. Philosophy is protect your magazine release in a high stress situation. You don't pop it out when you're coming out of the holster. So overall, I'm very impressed with not only the holster for the firearm, but also the holster for the magazine. So you can tell me what you think. Get real good details. You can see it in the side here. You could still see the pattern on the carbon fiber. So again, overall, you can't ask anything more. Yeah, again, you know, to me, I think this is probably one of the better holsters that I've seen for a CZ. Not because I made it myself, but because I was doing a lot of research trying to find holsters, not necessarily to buy, but at least something to compare against. So again, thank you for watching this or in the next episode at Dux Outdoor and Tech TV. Let me know what you think about this holster here. I personally think are the best one I built so far. I really like it, and you know, if I lived in a state that was full carry, probably after June we'll find out. I definitely, probably the CZ will be my daytime gun and the Glock would be my nighttime gun. But I'm going to have a shootout between the two of them theoretically on the bench, and we're going to take both of them to the range. And, you know, we're going to see how they pan out. All right, so until next time, respect.